Hey James, thanks for coming on, man. It's
Yeah,
it's been a while to get this going, but we did it.
yeah, about like a month and a half, I think it was.
So many reschedules, but it's finally happening. So
Yeah,
nice to meet you, man. Thanks for coming on.
yeah, no, it's no problem at all. I'm really excited. It just sucks. Like every time it's either raining or I'm working. It's like
Yeah, the downsides of having a tin roof studio, I guess.
yeah.
What terrible design, I guess. Um, let's start with where it all began for you musically. Like, what made you want to get into music?
Yeah, well, so like year seven ish is like when I started like learning music as a whole. So like I picked up a guitar during high school, and I was just like smashing that. Like I love playing guitar a lot. I've got two sat behind me, um, but electronically, like I'd probably say like because like I was listening to things like dubstep and stuff like in year seven, year eight, like around the same time. Like I think everyone that goes into dubstep is always like, yeah, Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites is like the thing that like changed my life. And yeah, that was sort of it. Like I was like, wow, this is like crazy music. And like I've listened to a heap of like different stuff, like some Zed and like all of those like sort of early. Like I loved Nicky Romero. Like Toulouse was like my banger, like
Yep.
all the time.
All the usual
But yeah,
stuff
like it
everyone was
wasn't
loving.
until sort of yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like sort of year 11 or year 12. So I would have been like 16, 17. At our school, we had like a lab, like a little lab full of like Macs. Like I was like noodling around on like FL, like
Mm.
a shitty copy of FL, and like I was making like really like unsidechained, unmixed, like not even in key, like bangers to me, like. But it wasn't until like yeah, my teacher saw that I had like an interest in it that he showed me like Logic and stuff like that. I don't use Logic now. I use the Ableton, but that was sort of like oh, so like this is like what like the the industry uses. Like it's like this
Yeah.
is like the standard, and I was like, yeah, this is really cool. Like I did a little like electronic Owl City esque thing for like an assessment that I got like a really good mark on. Like um and then like at the time I was doing a lot of like singer songwritery stuff and like performing with that. And then after high school, I was like, I'm going to get Ableton and learn how to make bangers.
Did you play? I have to ask. Did you play Blink 182 on guitar like everyone else did?
um,
Like I swear, everyone's first like chords were "Damn It."
no. My first ever song that I played on guitar was "Good Riddance, Time of Your Life" by Green Day. The doom, the doom, doom.
Well, given the fact that you're out in Wagga Wagga, I assume it's a bit different.
Yeah. It's yeah.
And I assume like your teacher seemed potential. He's like, "Oh, put those little toys down. This is the big boys, and here's logic." What was easier for
Yeah.
you?
I really enjoyed the workflow of Logic. Like, if I had a Mac, I probably would be using Logic now.
Hmm.
But I'm just like a mad nerd, and I need a PC. I need Windows.
Fair enough. Yeah, Mac's not for everyone. It's also not compatible with a lot of stuff, but you know,
Yeah,
each to their own, I guess. What
yeah.
is it like living in Wagga Wagga, the middle of fucking nowhere in Australia, and trying to do something with music?
it's it's super hard at the moment. There's like one bass event here, and it's currently on hiatus due to Corona.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first got started, I like messaged them on Facebook with like this 150 BPM like dubstep mix that was like half like YouTube to MP3 to like, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't do that genre at this event." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then, but like, yeah, I ended up actually meeting the guy who runs it, and hopefully, before I like move out of here, hopefully they can do another event, and I can do a bit of mid tempo and D&B and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty difficult if you're not like a pub cover band. It's like pretty hard to get gigs here.
You should just pull the whole Sly and just show up with your guitar and be like, "Oh yeah, you mind if I play it?" And then just show it with like a CDJ.
Yeah, I'll just pull out my DDJ.
and then just like,
What is
yeah.
up, Union Hotel?
uh, let's talk about your stage name that was before Simply Nerve. What was the
Oh
inspiration behind
yeah,
that?
I didn't even know. It was like it was probably like something like on Google, like DJ name generator, because actually before that it was Tired Owl, and it was like a rip on Dead Mouse, and like I really liked like Owl City at the time, and like I love owls, and I thought like latching onto sort of like an aesthetic with like owls and stuff would be cool, but then that was all like is I wouldn't say poppy, but it wasn't heavy, and then like Nerve was sort of like the dark sort of electronic stuff that I started doing,
Mhm.
and then I realized that on Unearthed there was and like there was a huge rapper named Nerve. I
Yeah.
was like, I should probably change that.
And then
um,
how'd you come up with your current name?
that was like I love name generators, but like I usually like put spins on them, and I came up with like these two like couple of like names. It was like Simply Digital, but it was like it had the I and everything. Like it was
Mhm.
just like the words like Simply Digital and that. And I was talking to a dude who like does rap and stuff at my work. Like when I was working at like a restaurant, I was talking to him about. I'm like, what do you think of these names? He's like, why don't you just be like Simply? And then you could just like have it like he was like, why don't you be SMPLY and just like had it as the letters?
Hmm.
I was like, that's pretty cool. And like I was like, I don't think there's anyone on SoundCloud that has that. So
That's like
there's
the
a guy named
first
like Simply T, but I don't know. Like they do like rap and stuff. So I don't think
the
there's like a
first thing
lot
you
of
do.
crossover.
It's like come up with a name, go straight to SoundCloud, straight to the internet, and you're like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's all good. I'll take it.
yeah, it's sweet. SEO, man, SEO.
You did say you were going to move. Where are you moving to?
It's currently like up in the air at the moment, but I might be moving to Adelaide next year, for like job opportunities and stuff.
Mhm. That
Because
makes
like
sense.
outside of music, I do IT and networking, and like want to go into cybersecurity and stuff. And I've got a lot of friends down in Adelaide, so if I move to a big city that's not like Sydney, um, like hopefully I can get like a good job, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's basically it.
Given the fact that you do such like I don't want to say like a niche job, but if your music career took off, would you then drop your cybersecurity job?
Oh yeah, music is like my number one thing. As much as like I need to like have education and job and stuff, like music is like my biggest passion.
All right, let's throw another hypothetical in there. 6 figures, but your music career only pays like, the standard 52,000.
I would honestly probably still go with music.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I think it comes to a passion thing at that point. It's like let's see how like high the roller coaster can ride. I guess.
Yeah. No, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like it is a passion thing. You're not really in it for the money because the money is very limited when you're first starting out. I don't know if a lot of people know that, and the journey is rough. How has
Yeah.
the journey been for you?
It's been all right. Like because like I'm still really like I'm in the I'm not making money stage. Like I'm still in that like I'm just making
Yeah.
crazy sounds in Ableton and some people are listening to it, I guess. And like just trying to get like friend like it sounds kind of corny, but like I think music is like definitely just like made me a lot of like cool friends, and it's like I want to like a couple of people that have been on like the show, like I'm good friends with like Callie,
Mm.
and I'm now like I'm doing some stuff with Charlie as well,
Yeah.
um, and it's like it's so crazy that I'm like meeting all these cool people.
They are doing big things behind the scenes. So you are very connected behind the scenes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
How far do you think you've come from your first original release, Storm, to your newest one, Main Event?
Um, yeah, they're a bit different.
Yeah, different genres for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So like Storm back then, like so that was like because like I'd like put stuff out on SoundCloud before that was like heavy, like I think a lot of it's like privated now because it's like awful. But Storm was like the first song where I like because there was a point in which I was like, should I do heavy stuff? Like I think that sort of that idea of like like money and stuff
Mm.
sort of came into my head. I'm like, I don't think heavy stuff is gonna really fly. So it's like I'm gonna just try and experiment with this sort of like melodic techno, melodic house thing. And it was fun. Like I really like DJing house and stuff like that. But I was like, I crave something like extreme. I think
Yeah.
compared to Main Event, like my the guy who I collabed with on it, Jake Shepard, he's just put out another like future bass song, which is crazy. Um, but he's from Wagga as well, and he like sent me the start of Main Event, like I think it was like the intro and like the first half of the drop.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, yeah, okay. I like downloaded it, put it in Ableton, asked him like the BPM and stuff, and then like I made what ended up being the second drop as the second half of the first drop. And then like he was like, yeah, that's pretty cool, but we could like separate them. And then I've been like listening to a lot of music that has like 3 drops, and so we were like, let's experiment with that. But like I think coming from those 2 songs, like yeah, a lot has changed. I still do like those old songs, but yeah, they're just not simply as simply is at the
Yeah.
moment.
I feel like people don't like dubstep until they've heard a specific dubstep track and they're like, oh my God, this is sick. Where the hell has it been my whole life? You know?
Yeah, well,
It just has
yeah,
a
that was
different
like
energy.
yeah, like that was like me with like mid tempo. Like I'd like heard Res.
Mm.
And like I was like, oh, Res is pretty cool, but it's like kind of down tempo. Like it's good to nod your head to. And like we're talking about this the other day in like a Discord that I'm part of. I think it was actually Blank's Discord where we're talking about like the first mid tempo song where we like listened to it and was like, whoa, like this is insane. And I realized mine was Fire by Peking Duck, the Blank remix.
Mm-hmm.
And like I heard it on Triple J and I'm like, this is insane. I'm going to listen to like all of this. So I like listened to like Blank. I've listened, yeah, I like found Primary Being. I found heaps of people like Bad Void. Yeah, like all those big guys. And like I'm like, okay, this is a really cool niche. I don't care whether people like this or like if I'll get booked. I want to make this kind of music and just keep just working on it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
other than all those lovely, talented local artists, who else is your inspiration?
I'm not sure. Like a lot of my listening has like narrowed down a lot. Like I listen to like a lot of the bigger artists like Rez and like Dead Mouse and all of those guys. And then like Virtual Riot just put out a mid-tempo track on his new album.
Mm-hmm.
I've been listening to that like almost every day. It's called Exile featuring the Kids. It's a very good track. I think the captions on the YouTube video for that song is like me trying to be Rez or something like that. It's really, really funny. But like I've been listening to a lot of just like people that I know. Like shout out like Zin, like Zin. He does like electro house.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got an ID of his that's like mid tempo. Nicodemus, he's like amazing as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Good friend. Some Friend Zone, Volik as well. Trisect, Quaxon, yeah, like all of those guys. Like I think mid tempo, it's like it's not hit its peak yet, so like not a lot of the artists are like, you know, huge artists that everyone knows, but like there's like so many like heavy hitters just like in that like about to smash it scene. I don't know,
like they're all just sitting there waiting for their turn. It's like drum and bass in mid tempo or just about to fly through the scene at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I said that to the bloke who organized After Dark, the event here. I was like, mid tempo and drum and bass are gonna hit soon. And he's like, I know. Like drum and bass is definitely starting to hit, and I think mid tempo is like the next in line.
I do have something here saying Earthfest. I feel like you did an online event for them.
Yeah. I've done a couple of online festivals.
Yeah.
Yeah, Earthfest was pretty cool. It was like it was raising money for like a conservation place over in America. But I found that through Solstice Events, who I did Winter Covers Everything as well. Um, and there's supposed to be another one coming up called Summer Never Comes, but I haven't heard a lot about that recently. So whether it whether Summer Never Comes does come or not, I'm not sure. But um, yeah, like it's been awesome playing all these like online shows through like the lockdowns and everything. It's been really neat. Good like practice, I guess.
Have you played live before?
I've like I've got a mate at a club here who like because like newsflash to everyone, rural Australia doesn't do dubstep. It's all like
Who thought?
it's all like house and minimal and like Melbourne bounce and stuff, which is like a lot of clubs in Australia, but especially rurally. And he's had me up a couple of times, like doing like transitions and stuff, and like, but like I haven't like, my name isn't on the bill yet.
Yeah.
Soon.
Maybe some shows in Adelaide. Who knows?
I'm hoping. I've joined a group called Adelaide Based Legion, and I followed a bunch of those like events pages. I'm hoping to reach out once I sort of move over there. Hopefully.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
EDC Las Vegas.
Goals. You got to have goals, right?
Yeah, you just got to like have those like huge goals. I don't know. Like it's like the boringness within me is like network engineer somewhere, like making a bit of bank. Going home to a girlfriend. I don't know, but I think definitely like looking towards the stars. Like I do want to be like playing shows or producing or like working in some sort of music capacity, whether it be like like helping people out, like writing for people or audio engineering or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Or you're still in the industry type thing, but you're not quite. Yeah. Well, either way, goals are great, and EDC is definitely something to strive for. And I'll be alongside you interviewing people there as well. So, what's been the hardest part of your musical journey? Like, what's been the biggest learning curve for you?
I think like within like the past year, I think it's definitely like, I wouldn't say responding to criticism like as in a public sense. It's like sort of looking inwards, I think. Like, like I send a song out to someone and they give me a list of stuff that they think is not right. And it's like, I think at the beginning, like, I had a friend of mine, I think his artist name is Disfunct. He does like death step and stuff. He's an insane producer. Like this guy is like insane. I remember I sent him like one of the first ever like SMPLY tracks, and he sent me, he's just like, do you want me to go in on this? I was like, yeah, man, like how bad can it be? It was like full page like of a Discord message, and I was just like, yeah, cool, I'm deleting that project. I'm not even going near it. And I think like that sort of like, I guess I'd say like perseverance almost, where it's like you've got to like step away from a song and like critically analyze it, is definitely sort of one of the hardest things that I've been struggling with. And like sending stuff to people and like being able to accept like what they say and sort of compare it with what I think as well. That's definitely a pretty hard part about like music in general. Like you don't get that a lot in like, well, I can't say I've been in a band, but it's like you don't really get that like when you're writing singles on guitars and stuff. You don't get, hey, your guitar tone is too noisy, you should probably dial it back. Like it's just, oh, that's just their sound.
Yeah.
Whereas like with synths and stuff, it's like, yeah, that synth is way too noisy, and I've got to like look at that and go, yeah, I should probably dial that like distortion back, or I should make that kick louder, or change the kick sample.
How many whips do you have?
Like serious whips, probably like 2 or 3.
Mhm.
But like whips as in like 8-bar loops that I keep telling myself that I'm gonna go back to, probably like 10 or 15.
Okay, that's not too bad. I know
Yeah,
people
yeah. I'm
that
not
are
like
up in
one of
like the
those people that
2030s.
hoards whips and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna come out with a 30 song mix of all really unreleased IDs. No,
and
I'm
then
not that kind of person.
and they'll literally never be released.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. When do you see your next release coming out? Let's put some
Um,
fire up you and see what we can do.
so like OG just simply
Mhm.
probably very soon. I'm probably like 70% of the way through this one whip that I've been working on. Remixes though, I do have a remix coming out in December.
Okay.
Um, for a mate of mine called Perfectical. He's in Italy. He also did the Solstice event stuff. I did a remix of his track 1984, which will be coming out in December. Um, I've got a couple of collabs, but I don't know when they're coming out. I've got one coming out with IDEO.
Mhm.
He's the Sydney boy. Omen, who's coming onto the scene, amazing bass producer, like insane. Um, I'm messing around with a whip with Charlie. Yeah. Um, whether that like progresses, it's still early stages. Um, but yeah, like OG Simply release, I'd probably say maybe before the end of the year.
Yeah. Nice Christmas present.
Yeah, yeah, nice
Yeah.
Christmas present.
Yeah, no, there's something going on here in Australia, and there's a lot of talented producers.
Yeah, yeah. The
Like,
bass scene in Australia is nuts.
yeah, like you included. Like
Yeah,
the talent is unreal. And I feel like if people just stopped listening to the States and listened here, they'd be like,
yeah,
oh, something is happening in Australia.
yeah. Like I know so many like nuts like
Mm.
Australian producers,
Well,
and
you've
it's just
listed a
like
bunch.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Like the like yeah, I do have a couple of friends like that are in the States and stuff, and they're making cool stuff. But yeah, there's like so many Australian producers. They're like, because like I didn't get to tell this to like Charlie last week, but I remember like when I was first listening to bass music, I remember seeing like Primary Being and listening to his tracks. And I'm like, this guy's nuts,
Mm.
and I saw like he has like in his SoundCloud, he's like, do you want to like make music? Send thing to this email. And like I remember looking at it like as like a dude, like I mean I don't have that many followers, but like look at when I first started, I'm like, yeah, like this is like the kind of dude I want to be working with. And it's like crazy that like these people are like reaching out to me and we're like working on
Yeah.
music together. And it's
Well,
like
knowing Charlie personally, he really preaches Icon. Shout out
yeah,
Icon. I don't know if you have looked at it or, you
a
know.
little. I know a couple of like producers that have done it.
Mhm.
I'm not entirely sure I'm ready or like
Yeah.
whether it's just the route that I want to take. Maybe I'm like I'm not like doing it. Like I don't know. It's just I think I need to do a bit more research before I like pull the trigger and maybe take a look.
Well, it could be different, when you get like a full time job and you can do that on the side. So then you still have something to actually really fall back on. It could just be,
Yeah,
it's like not having anything really to fall on. You're like, ooh, is it something I want
yeah,
to do? Yeah.
yeah,
When
yeah.
when you're not being simply, what are you up to? What have you been doing?
I play a lot of video games.
Yeah.
That's about it. No, I work part time. I'm studying at the moment, doing the IT thing, and then like I like a lot of people don't realize this, but like my other like online thing is like I play video games and do speed running and stuff. So I
Okay.
play video games like really fast, and that's like my other like they barely mix those sorts of but yeah, that's about like all I do other than like work on music is play video games, work and study.
What have you beaten in speedrun? Like, what are you speedrunning at the moment?
At the moment, oh man, I do everything and anything. I've been like really like jamming horror games at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I
I'm intrigued in speedrunners. Like, I don't know what goes through your minds. Like, people like to just chill the fuck out and play video games, but you guys are trying to find
yeah.
like the glitches, the tricks, and it's just like how and why and how is this fun?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, no, like I've been to a couple like there's like an Australian speedrunning event. I've been there. I went there in 2019 when they were at PAX.
Mhm.
And like pretty much like all my best friends I've made through that and like playing video games. It's super weird. Like I guess it's one of those things of being so rural. Like a lot of my best friends are like online and
Mhm.
are in like major cities. So I don't get to see them in person very often. Um, Same with music. Like
Yeah.
I've seen like Callie a couple of times, like whenever she's like played in Canberra, and I've been able to get across. But yeah, other than that, like it's mostly just talking on Discord or like Facebook or something.
I know what you mean. I'm a rural boy myself. No, coming back, like
Yeah,
growing up in the middle of fucking nowhere, and all you've got
yeah,
is video games or just like quad bikes. Just just not a lot of stuff
yeah,
to do, but yeah, video games. So it's
yeah.
understandable in why you do speed runs. But have you beaten any records or have been close to?
I've been close. I a couple of years ago, I ran Tony Hawk's American Wasteland,
Okay,
and
love that game.
I think yeah, it's a good game.
Oh yeah,
It's not a great speed run. I'll be
I
real,
didn't know you
but
could speed run it. But
oh
okay.
yeah, it's a pretty rough speed run. But I think I was third on the leaderboards,
Mhm.
but I think I'm like down to like fifth or sixth now. Some new people have come across.
That's
I don't
out
think
of
I'll
how
be
many
ever going back
people?
to it. Like 12 or something like that. Like third out of like 12. Or something.
That's not bad. Like,
Yeah.
like considering, like, I'm surprised people are even going for that game to speedrun in the first place. But
Oh, there's any game. I've got a friend from he's in Adelaide. He speed runs. You know the Flash game, World's Hardest Game. I don't know
yes,
whether you.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He speed runs that.
Look, I don't. You guys have way too much fucking time on your hands.
Oh, you're so right. I've got too much time. I need to get out of this room sometimes. I think.
Speaking of video games, PlayStation or Xbox?
Um.
Or are you going to be that
I
PC superior?
Well, like I have a PC and it's like
Uh-huh.
my main driver. Like I play pretty much everything on PC, but like the only console that I have like owned specifically has been a 360. And like I like my controller that I use on PC is still a 360 controller. So like I would probably say Xbox,
Yeah.
but then again, like I didn't play PS4 or Xbox One or anything, so I don't know.
You're missing out on the PlayStation. I'm just saying.
Yeah, look, I thought about it. I want to get a PS2. I think is my next like console I want to buy is a PS2.
You know, there's fives, right?
I know, I know.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to get a PS2 than a PS5.
Oh, easy. Yeah, much easier. I'm pretty sure you can find a PS1 much easier than you can find a PS5. Netflix or Disney Plus?
Netflix, I would say.
Yeah.
I did have a Disney Plus subscription for The Simpsons, but other than that, like I'm not really a huge Disney person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sat down to watch The Simpsons like a couple weeks back, and I feel like you just watch one or two and you just get over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen all these.
Yeah, yeah. It's like all
Yeah.
the good ones you've already seen.
Yeah. What are you watching on Netflix?
What am I just finished Squid Game.
Yeah. I refuse to watch it.
Yeah, I was that person as well. I was like, everyone's talking about it. I don't want to watch it. And then like, I think I watched the first episode. I like watched 15 minutes before I had to go to work. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then I like got home and finished the episode. I'm like, cool. This is my next 2 days.
Up at 2 a.m. still watching it. Oh, I should be
Yeah.
asleep.
It's like, oh, I've got to get up at 7. Oh no.
What's your favorite food?
Favorite food? Oh, that like it's so difficult. Like, so I'm a hospitality like person. Like, I've always worked in hospitality up until my current job, in which I work at a supermarket. But
Good, you got out. I'm still
yeah,
stuck.
I got out.
I'm still in my chef uniform. Yeah.
Oh, good luck. Good luck.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I was a chef up until like not that long ago. So I feel that.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I think I've worked in a lot of different places. Like I didn't work in a pub. In the end, like I've worked a lot in like small like I wouldn't say fine dining because it wasn't like Hadded or anything, but it was like for Wagga.
Yeah,
It was fine
it's pretty
dining.
fine.
Um,
It's not
like
the pub,
I
but it's not the
yeah.
RSL. It's in between.
Oh yeah, basically. But no, it was like yeah, no, it was pretty rough. And like at that point, I don't know, like you sort of get brainwashed when you work in those kinds of places where it's like, yeah, pub feeds are like not that good, and then like you get out and you're like, fuck, I could go palmy right now.
Yeah.
um, other than that, I'm a bit of a sushi person.
Okay.
But yeah,
What's the sushi
yeah,
like in Wagga? I feel like you guys don't get much fish there.
I don't really go for the fish here, my
I
guy.
wouldn't either. Locally sourced fish from where?
Yeah, the lake, mate. It's carp.
Yeah. What's your biggest conspiracy?
Oh, that's. I didn't even think of that. See, I've got like. I'm like a. Not, I'm not anti-conspiracy theory. Like, I think a lot of them are really cool and really funny. I like the Y2K one. Just so the idea behind it is really funny to me. Like when you sort of learn what Y2K was from a technical level, it's really funny for people that are like, everything's gonna explode.
I get it. You know, you're in like that mid generation of here's all this new technology, and you're still kind of confused. And when someone goes, "Oh, it's gonna kill you," you're like, "It's gonna kill me." Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, but when you think back on it, it's like that's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because like I think it was a couple of weeks ago we were supposed to have like it wasn't really broadcasted, but like the whole thing about like Y2K was like the binary bits were like filled up with like ones, and it like clicked back to zero again, and everyone went mental. And we hit another one. I think it was either a couple of weeks ago or we're doing it in a couple of weeks, and like nothing's being said about it because everyone's like, oh yeah, okay, it'll just work itself out.
I feel like there's an end of the world every year.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
someone's like, "Oh yeah, 2020, something's gonna happen." It did happen, but like the
Yeah.
world's gonna end. 2012, the world's gonna end. It's like, no, it's not. Can we just stop and just keep going? Keep making outrageous New Year's resolutions.
just stay in your car at like 9:30 in the morning. Just keep going to work.
Yeah,
Chill
still
out.
going to work. Don't worry about that one. What do you have to say to your ever-growing fan base?
My bear with me. Like, trust me, stuff's happening. I think.
You think?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 second.
That's so good.
Sorry, man. Fucking younger brother.
Start swinging. Throw hands.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here.
I've got 2 housemates. I'm always scared of that door.
Yeah. Fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. Being so new to the music industry, have you ever felt like just giving up and doing just your normal 9 to 5, just like doing your supermarket full time or doing your everything else full time?
Yeah, all the time. I do that with like even like genres or like things like a while ago, like I've got like a folky playlist, and I like looked at my guitar. I'm like, why am I making electronic music? Like I was like, I could just pick up that guitar and like go play at the pub or whatever, and probably get a decent amount of extra money. Or like, yeah, like I could just stop and like uninstall Ableton at any point. But then it's like one of those things where like the moment I think that, I'll like go and like click on like I've got a playlist called Simply Picks, which is just like full of crazy electronic music. Link, what is it? linktr.ee/simply, and that's all my links, and the playlist is on that. But like I'll like listen to that, and I'll listen to like something like Alpha and Omega by Swarm, or like Exile by Virtual Ray. I'm like, this is why I did it.
Yeah, this is why
this
I'm
music
here.
sounds cool. Yeah.
Have you implemented your guitar sounds into your work, or have you not gotten
I
that?
want to. I like the thing is like I just can't get like my guitar. My electric guitar is like a Yamaha like $100 guitar,
Mhm.
and then like I don't. I've got an audio interface, but like I've got no pedals or anything, and like I don't have the money to buy a decent guitar amp sim.
Yeah.
And then like I could probably do something cool with my acoustic. Like yeah, because like I've got this mic and it's a decent mic and it's a good mic, so I could probably do something with that. But it's just picking it up is just like I got like my remix of Nick All the Same by Nicodemus. It's got a guitar in it, but it was like I think it's a Labs plugin. I think it's a Labs preset with like a really dodgy like amp simulation using stock Ableton plugins and stuff. It's really jank, but it worked.
Yeah. Did the job.
Yeah, it did the job.
What is the reason behind that good quality mic?
This one?
Yeah.
At the time of getting this, I was like streaming and stuff, and yeah, it was mostly just like streaming. I was like, I kind of want to have a good quality mic, and then also like I got my interface. Like this interface is like, I swear, on the verge of giving in, but I'm like, please hold on until I move. Please hold on till I move. And like I got it because I was like recording loop pedal stuff, because like that was my original stuff, like thing coming out of high school. Was I had a RC50. It was the one that like Ed Sheeran had when he first shout out, because like I was like a huge Ed Sheeran fanboy before he went all commercial. Wow. I got it, and yeah, well, have you heard his new singles? I haven't.
They're not bad. I
like
his new like housey vibey one. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, actually, yeah, the newest one. But like Bad Habits, I can't deal with.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Bad Habits.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he brought like a new one out, and it's like very like, it sounds kind of like old his stuff, but I don't know. But like it was like the same one that he had before. He got like the giant like custom made one. And like that's what I was doing. I was like doing like Ed Sheeran covers and like instrumental loopy stuff, and it was really cool. And then I just needed a way to record that, so I bought an audio interface. And then I was like, what's the point in having an audio interface going into a computer? And then because I had this mic but the USB version, because that was when I was like streaming, and I'm like, why didn't I just get the XLR version? I've got an audio interface, and it like became cheaper than like, I think it's like the audio interface and the mic is more expensive than the USB, but I already had the interface, so it became cheaper just to have the XLR.
But yeah, behind the scenes, you kind of spent more because you brought the audio interface.
Yeah.
But in your head, you're like, oh, this mic's cheaper than the USB. So, yeah, it makes sense.
And it takes up one USB port, so.
Yeah. Well, I'm on the good old classic Anco Kmart mic.
Dude, it sounds awesome.
Yeah, like I'm surprised.
I remember seeing that like on TikTok or something. People were like, yeah, go to Kmart and get the
$25.
I don't even know what it's called. Yeah, it's like $25 and you get like the mark and the arm and stuff.
Yeah. What do you have to say to what do you have to say to your Evergrowing fan base? And that was bear with me.
Yeah, it was like, just bear with me. Like I try I go through periods where I just like, I don't go dark on socials, I just go dark on posting. That's like I'm all over. No, but like I'm all over. Like I'll like everyone's like tweets. I'll like everyone's like photos. It's just I don't post because I just don't have anything to say. But then I'll go nuts and I'll be like, hey, new song coming out next week. And then like every day up until then I'll post like videos and like snippets and stuff. But yeah, trust me, I'm still here. I'm still kicking. There is new music on the horizon. There's a couple of things like. Yeah, like that one in December is like I've had that done for like 2 or 3 months now, but it's like because it's a small label release and stuff. it's like going through all the motions and
So
all of
they're gonna
that
hold it
fun
for like
stuff.
6 months, and then
Yeah, it's like, so I think the thing, I remember seeing a message about it. It's like it's going to be on Audius like exclusively and for like a month, then it's going to come out on all the streaming services and stuff. But yeah. Um yeah, all the other stuff, it's like just sending stems and stuff and like getting versions from other people and just getting over my own imposter syndrome when it comes to my newest music. It's like,
Hmm.
yeah, just bear with me, it's coming.
How do you find like self-releasing compared to label releasing?
Um well, like I've only ever had one proper label release,
Mm-hmm.
and that was Consequence, and it was great. Like I Midnight Records did a pretty decent job. They also released a song by Zaphite as well, Destruction, which is like one of my favorite songs to like play in my sets. Um, and like that was really neat. Like I liked having someone send me a master and send me an album art and stuff. Um, but I think I've been really enjoying sort of self-releasing because then you do all your own promo, like everything is exactly how you want to do it. You don't
Yeah.
have to like submit to, like, if you're like, I've got this video of my song with like this video on it, you don't have to send it to someone and get approval for you then to post it. Like I think it's, and I've really been enjoying sort of like the like the post-release stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a huge proponent of things like Submit Hub and like getting songs on like playlists and stuff. I've been really enjoying that.
Yeah.
Would I still do a label release? Probably. Like
Yeah.
if I think my song's good enough, I'll still submit it to places. But I'm not against just self-releasing as well.
Yeah. And what do you have to say to the people who aren't following you?
Well done. No. I don't know. I think like if you like that sort of heavy stuff, like I am here. I am also like a DM away to anyone who isn't following. Just get on it. Like I think a lot of like the Australian scene is about to come into its own,
Mm.
and like I'd hopefully get to be one of the people that is with that scene when it happens.
Well, you're on board the right train with the people you know.
Yeah.
It's just the more releases you got, I think the further you will go. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I expect big things from you, but I'm excited to see where you go. Like either
Okay.
you move to Adelaide or like stay in Wagga. Like I going back to your discography, I'm very excited to see how you progress and what you come up with in the future. And I am excited for that December release.
Yeah.
If it gets released in December, because it's a label release. So
Yeah. Well,
we'll see.
yeah.
Can
I've
you
got a couple of other like remixes I'm working on.
can
and
you even
stuff,
speak
so.
about that release?
Yes, I did. Like a lot of the stuff of my collabs and stuff. I have like talked to people about it, like Omen, and I didn't ask Charlie, so we might have to like redact all that stuff. But but yeah, the Omen collab and the Perfectical release are definitely both able to be talked about. They've been cleared with the artists.
Yeah, just double checking because don't want to don't want to get you hit with an NDA.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't signed anything for an NDA, so
Oh, well, you
I'm
free
going to
then.
talk
You
about
good,
as
yeah.
much as I can.
Talk as much as you want.
Yeah, plausible deniability
Yeah.
is what they say,
So,
right?
well, you didn't give me an NDA, so
Yeah, I'm just going to keep blabbing on.
yeah. Simply, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, it's not a problem, man.